Hello everyone, my name is Abby and today we're going to be doing a 35-minute body sculpt class. Today we're going to be working more of that upper body and it'll be a more upper body focused workout today. We'll also be warming up, having our main segment and cooling down, but just focusing on that one area of our body. All you need today is some light to medium dumbbells. If you don't have those, that's perfectly fine. If you have anything with a little bit of weight around your house, some bottles, soup cans, really anything that you can find. And then a mat or towel is optional, but if you don't have that, again, that's totally fine. And then some water, I would have that off to the side, and you can grab that at any point during our workout today. So we're going to go ahead and get into that warm-up. I'm going to play some music, and I have a fan going over here. If you want to play your own music, that's totally fine, but we're going to go ahead and get that started. All right, backing up into our space here. Getting ready. In 4, 3, start marching up those feet. Really bringing those knees up high, pumping those arms. Bring it a little bit wider. Widen up that stance. In 4, 3, plant those feet for spinal flexion. It's down. 2, 3, tuck that head, and up. 2, 3, shoulders back. Rolling through that spine here. Really making sure that we hold it at the top. Cut it in half. We're going down for 2, and up for 2. It's down for 2, and up for 2. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, moving on to our other warm-up moves we're starting with. Taking that foot in front of us, your right or your left, sweeping down, and then sweeping all the way around to the other side of our room. Really thinking of sending those glutes back. Having a slight bend behind that front foot. Reaching those toes towards our ceiling. This right here stretches behind those legs, our hamstrings. Again, we're warming up that full body, but we're really focusing on that upper body today. Give me 2 more. Awesome. All right. Switching it up here, taking that foot behind us now and pulling it towards that glute. If you would like to, you can add a little calf raise there to add a little extra stretch in front of that hip. Also, feel free to grab onto anything near you. It's also testing our balance a little bit and helps us start activating that core. I want you all to start thinking of pulling that belly button towards that spine. I'll be using that method right there throughout our full class today. So getting started now. 2 more. Hope you all are having a good day, whatever kind of day it is that you're doing this video. All right, next up we're going to go ahead and take those arms into some arm circles, starting with our forward ones. Really rolling through those shoulders. Breathing through it. In 4, 3, 2, switch it back. We're going back now. Having a slight bend in those elbows. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, taking those feet a little bit apart from each other, pointing those toes forward, sinking it down. We're moving from side to side. These are called our lateral hip openers here. Just opening up those hips. Keeping on that same level right here. Making sure as we switch from side to side that those toes are going right over with those knees. Breathing through it. 2 more. Awesome. All right, and our last thing for our warm-up today, we're going to bring it to some inchworms. So going up onto those toes, walking it out to a high plank position. If you would like to, you can add a push-up at the bottom, or just hold that plank for a few seconds, and then go ahead and walk yourself right back on up. When we go out to that high plank, making sure that those shoulders and wrists are stacked right on top of each focusing on our breathing here. We're inhaling through that nose and out through that mouth. In that plank position, also making sure that we're pushing back into those heels, engaging behind those legs. Maybe 2 more. It's important to practice this form for our high plank position because we will be doing some exercises from this position today. Awesome. All right, everyone. Taking it here to a few jumping jacks, and then we're done with our warm-up. Just getting that heart rate up real quick. Light on those feet. Resistance in that movement. In 3, 2, and 1. All right, go ahead, shake up those arms, those legs. We're going to go ahead and get into our warm-up for today. Oh, I apologize. Getting into our main segment now. We just finished our warm-up. All right, so before we get into this, I always like to start with some glute and arm activation, depending on what muscles that I'm working. So we're going to go ahead and activate those arms a little bit. So we're taking a light weight. If you have a lighter dumbbell, that's perfect. If not, again, you can use anything around your house. So first, go ahead and join me when you're ready. We're just taking that weight and going in one direction around that head, kind of in a circular motion. Keep really thinking of keeping those shoulders down still. Again, this is just really activating those muscles that we'll be working today. And 3, 2, and 1. Switch to the other side. So the same motion, just starting to our other side here. Breathing through it. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. When you're ready again, joining me, taking that arm straight in front of us, slight bend in those elbows. We're just twisting that weight. Taking this at a slower pace. Again, just alternating which arm is on top and which arm is on bottom. Really thinking of keeping those arms held at chest level. Slight bend behind those knees in a wide stance here. Not arching that back. Really thinking of using that core to hold us up here. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Now that we activated those arms, we're going to go ahead and get into our main workout for today. For today, we're going to have 4 different circuits, all of them the same type of circuit. This is one of my favorite types. It's super fun. Not a lot of rest, but that's how we get that muscle tension and that resistance up. So for our 4 circuits, we're going to have 3 different moves for each. Do each of those for 30 seconds and repeat that 3 times. So for our first circuit, we're going to have our bicep ups, bicep downs, and then our tricep kickbacks. So what that looks like, we'll be grabbing our weights here, and for our bicep ups, we're going to take them halfway and go up, and then bring it to halfway again, and really focusing on that contraction up. And then for our second one, we're going to start at that halfway point and go down, go up halfway, and then go down. Again, for our first one, going up, our second one going down, and we'll be keeping those both for 30 seconds. Our third 30 seconds will be our tricep kickbacks. So taking those feet about shoulder width apart, bending those knees a little bit, taking those arms behind us here, and keeping those elbows right by our sides. Thinking of bending at those hips, really bending from those hips again, making sure that we're not arching that back. We're using that core and kicking those arms behind us here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get our timer started, starting with those first set of bicep curls. All right, timer is started here. Getting ready. In 3, 2, and 1. So starting halfway and then pulsing it up here. Thinking of reaching that chest, taking these at our own pace. Doing these half bicep curls, like I said earlier, really helps to focus on putting those muscles under a little bit more tension. Great way to add to those at-home workouts that we're doing right now. Again, does not have to be a super heavy weight. We're doing all of these over time. All right, going down now. So going halfway and bringing it down. Making sure that we're using just enough weight until we feel that resistance. We don't want those arms to be super, super sore. Just enough where it's a little bit of a challenge for ourselves. Exhaling on that contraction and inhaling on the way down. 3, 2, and 1. Going into those tricep kickbacks here. You can also single this out if you would like to. Really thinking of pushing those arms farther back, because the farther back we push them, the more tension we feel. Again, making sure we have that slight bend in those knees. We should feel this behind that arm in that tricep. 3, 2, and 1. Going back to those up bicep curls, so starting halfway and going up towards that chest. Exhaling as we make that weight come up towards our chest. We are strong, we are powerful. We're going to get through this workout, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going down now. I know that working our upper bodies at home can maybe be a little bit more difficult, especially if we don't have access to weights. So really just using our bodies and how powerful we are and how strong we are to get the most out of our workouts. Breathing through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going into those tricep kickbacks. Feel free to increase or decrease that weight through any of these exercises. We have one more round of all of these after we finish these tricep kickbacks. 10 seconds, everyone. 3, 2, and 1. Starting with those bicep curls up. Again, with these, you can even single these out and have a ISO hold here. That just means that one arm is going to be holding at that halfway position, still having that muscle under tension, or feel free to use both of those arms. Again, whatever you feel comfortable with, however you want to challenge yourselves today. 3, 2, and 1. Going for those downs. Awesome job, y'all. We got it. I don't know about y'all, but my biceps are on fire. "15 seconds. And all we got is that tricep kickback, and then we're moving on to our second circuit. 3, 2, and 1. Going to those tricep kickbacks. Again, singling these out if you would like to. Making sure we're keeping those shoulders down. Really engaging in that core still. Bringing all of our power, all of our strength from that core. Almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, everyone. Drop those weights and grab some water for me. All right, awesome. Now we're going to go into our second circuit for today. For our 3 moves, we're starting with our plank reach. So this, you can either go into a high plank position or go onto those knees. What it looks like, try to get so you all can see. So we're going into that plank position, like I said, or going down to those knees. What it'll look like is 1 arm at a time. We'll be reaching in front of us, having a light tap, and then bringing it back. Again, modification from our knees. Same thing, making sure that that back is straight. We're not lifting those glutes up, making sure those shoulders and wrists are stacked on top of each other. Next, we have our snow angels. So we're taking it down to our stomachs here. We're taking those arms, putting them out in front of us, sweeping them back, and bringing it back to our lower back. Thinking of elevating that chest through all of this, and keeping those arms slightly off of that ground. And this will be working those back muscles and those shoulders here. And then thinking of keeping that gaze towards our floor. Our last move for our second circuit will be our negative push-ups. So we're taking this into a plank position again, and really thinking of slowly coming down as far as we can until we come down to that floor, rolling ourselves back up, and then again, coming down, and keep going. If you would like to, you can even go to your knees and do the same thing for a little modification there, just taking these at your own pace. All right, first we're starting with that plank reach here, getting that timer started. Here we go. And 3, 2, and 1. Also for these plank reaches, if you make your stance with your feet a little bit wider, you can also make it a little bit easier. Or you can even go to those knees, reach out in front of us here. Really using that core to stabilize us. Just working our arms and that core. Breathing through it. 3, 2, and 1. Going down to those stomachs. Bringing those arms right to that back. Taking these at our own pace. Using that core, using those arms, not those shoulders. Not bringing those shoulders towards our ears. Keeping them down. 10 seconds, everyone. In 3, 2, and 1. Going to those negative push-ups here. Again, we're just dropping ourselves as far as we can go, and then rolling ourselves back on up. Really thinking of using that core. If you think about it, as we come down, thinking of following out that core, using it to push ourselves back up. 3, 2, and 1. Going back to those plank reaches. We should be feeling this in those shoulders. And a little bit in those triceps here. Breathing through it, everyone. We got it. Keeping in that positive mindset here. Reaching those goals, setting those goals. 3, 2, and 1. Going back to those snow angels. Working our back and those shoulders. Halfway there. Really challenging ourselves. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going into those negative push-ups here. Again, with these, making sure as we go down, we're keeping those elbows near those sides. And then rolling ourselves back up using that core. I know these might be a little bit more difficult, but we're challenging ourselves today. We came here to work. Taking our time on that way down. 5 seconds, everyone. And 1. All right, going back to that plank reach. Maybe reaching a little bit farther this time. Our last time doing these today. Breathing through it, everyone. Exhale as we tap in front of us. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going into those reverse snow angels. Really thinking of pulling those abdominals off of our floor, our mat, our towel. You should feel those shoulders burning by now. I know I definitely am. Breathing through it. 3, 2, and 1. Going to those negative push-ups. Come on, y'all. We got it. We are so close. We only have 2 more circuits after we finish this last round of these negative push-ups. Believing in ourselves, saying, I can. Sweeping those elbows right by those sides. We are so close. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Grab some water for me. Woo! Getting some sweat in my eyes. All right, everyone. For our third circuit, we're going to go ahead and work that core a little bit too. So for our first 2, it's going to be a right and a left move. So for our first side, our right, we're bringing it to a side plank crunch. So how this works is we're going to be leaning on that elbow, bringing those legs up and bending them under those hips, taking our right leg first, and we're pulling that leg to that elbow. They're meeting, and then extending back on out. Really thinking of crunching at that side and working those obliques, while also making sure that shoulder and elbow are right on top of each other. We'll do our right and then do our left for our second 30 seconds. And then for our third 30 seconds, we'll do our pike to push up. So how that looks, we're taking those feet into that high plank position. We're moving it up to that pike and then going down to that push-up position. And then going up, thinking lifting those glutes towards the ceiling and then bringing it down. If you want an extra challenge, you can add a push-up there at the bottom or just keep in that plank position. Again, we have 30 seconds each for these exercises, starting with that side crunch. I'm going to go ahead and get that timer started here. All right, everyone, getting pumped, getting ready. 3, 2, and 1. Again, going on to that side. Really thinking of crunching that core. And then also lifting in that arm that we're holding on with. Breathing through it. Exhaling as we bring it to that crunch. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going to that left side. You all can just flip. I'm just trying to make sure that you all can see it. For our left. Woo. Breathing through it. Again, we're exhaling as we bring it to that crunch. 3, 2, and 1. Going to that pike to high plank. Lifting those glutes, and then bringing it down. Again, this is working those arms and that core. As we bring that core down, we're bringing it to that flat back, and then bringing it back on up. Again, challenge, adding that push-up down there. 3, 2, and 1. Going to that right side first. Really making sure we're using those abdominals and not those hip flexors. So really focusing on using those abdominals and not those hip flexors. You should be feeling it right here in front of that hip. We want to feel it in that core, on the side of that core. Really focusing in on those muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Going to our left. Making sure that that knee is in line with that body. We're not bringing it too far forward. Right in line with our body here. Breathing through it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going to that pike to plank position. Again, slight bend in those knees and those elbows. Making sure we push those heels back when we get into that plank position, pushing them back here, activating behind those legs. Using that core muscle to lift us up. Here we go, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time doing our right side here. Breathe in through it. We got it. Really crunching that side. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going to our left. Breathing through it. Meeting that elbow and that knee. Keeping those shoulders down here. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going that pike push up. Breathing through it. Our last push for this circuit. Only one more circuit left, y'all. We got it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Grab some water. Take a little break for me. All right, like I said, we have one more circuit for today. And then we're going to cool it down. All right, for our first exercise today, we're bringing it to our shoulder press. So taking those weights again, we're standing up here. We're taking it to a field goal position. Lifting those arms up, reaching at the top, and then bringing them back down so that those elbows are equal. We don't want to dip them here. Again, keeping them lifted here, lifting up, and then going down. Next, we have our rear Delt Fly. So we're taking it into a staggered stance here, one leg in front of the other, making sure we're bending at those hips still, having a bend in those knees, taking those weights down straight in front of us. We're lifting those arms up, and taking them back together. Again, for this, you can single this out if you would like to. Making sure as we bring those arms up, we're not overextending. We're bringing it just below our midline here so that those weights stay equal. And we're really thinking of pinching those shoulder blades together as we do that. All right, starting with that shoulder press, getting that timer started. All right, y'all, this is our last circuit. Let's kill it. 3, 2, and 1. Going into that shoulder press here, keeping those shoulders down, really bringing all of our power from those back muscles and those shoulders. Exhaling as we press up. You can also single these out if you would like to. Increasing or decreasing at weight, whatever we need. 3, 2, and 1. Going into that rear Delt Fly. I forgot to explain this, but again, we're only doing 2 moves for this circuit. Keeping it at 30 seconds each. So just doing the same thing, just with 1 less move here. Exhaling on our way out. Singling this out if you would like to. You can also stagger that stance however you would like. 3, 2, and 1. Going back to that shoulder press. Breathe in through it. Last little push for our workout today. Breathe in through it. Ten seconds, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really making sure that we're leaning at those, bending at those hips. We're not arching that back. We're making sure we're tucking those hips and bringing those arms out to our side. Again, just going far enough until you feel that resistance. The farther that we bend down, the more we feel it in those back muscles. 3, 2, and 1. All right, y'all, last time with this shoulder press. Last push, giving it all we got. Still engaging in that core. Breathe in through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, everyone, last move for our workout today. Slight bend in those elbows here. Still keeping those shoulders down. Really thinking of those shoulder blade muscles. Squeezing together. Using those backs, those rear delts. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, everyone. Drop those weights. Go ahead and meet me on the floor, your mat. We're going to go ahead and cool it down here. Go ahead and bring it to a butterfly stretch. So taking those toes and kissing them together here. And then leaning forward. If you want to, you can press down on those inner thighs for a little bit more of a stretch. Just making sure we're not pressing on those knee joints, just on those inner thighs here. Leaning forward. Awesome, taking those feet in front of us, flexing them towards our ceiling, lifting up, and reaching for those toes. Letting that head drop here, feeling that stretch behind that neck. All right, taking one leg out to our side, flexing that foot, reaching up towards our ceiling, and reaching towards that foot. Really feeling that stretch in that side. All right, taking it to our other foot. Awesome. All right, taking those feet into a resting position. One arm across that chest and pulling it at that muscle. Feeling that stretch across that arm. Sweeping it down, grabbing that muscle again. Not that elbow joint here, pulling it behind our head. Sweeping it down, bring it to our other arm. Bring it down, taking that arm up. And swinging it down. All right, everyone, our last thing for today, we're going to go ahead and bring it to a little ball here. Either giving ourselves a little hug or putting those arms on the ground. I like to end every class the same with a little mindfulness. I want you all just to thank yourself for coming out and watching this video and working out with me today. Thank yourself for loving your body, and thank yourself for being amazing. You have the power to visualize the life you want to have, so make it a good one. All right, everyone, my name is Abby. Thank you again for coming and working out with me today, and have a good rest of your day. Bye!